So my ultimate charge while at the Emory Clinic for the summer was to develop a comprehensive review of their patient satisfaction efforts. This included a historical review of past projects as well as a current and future financial review and analysis in order to establish whether or not it was worth the efforts of the organization to continue with patient satisfaction projects. So what is patient satisfaction for Emory? They've established 10 big metrics called the Big 10, but for the purposes of this analysis, we really only looked at practice productivity and rate your provider. These two are in alignment with the CG CAPS consumer survey, which has been established by CMS in order to review the experience of patients when contacting various providers. And our goal was to not only create a story about these metrics throughout the history or their history and their applicability to the Emory Clinic, but also their impact on the revenue cycle. And this brings into play the development of the PSAT team, which is the Patient Satisfaction Acceleration Team. So this team developed and employed customized projects and initiatives by section. Emory Clinic has over 40 sections and at least that many providers. The correlation between the survey scores and the patient experience were the fundamental goals of this analysis. They helped us to employ not only the data collection but also the return on investment down the line. So the data collection really came into play with the wiki catalog. So what we did was we developed an interactive and progressive catalog of past and present PSAT projects. In order to do this, we had to gather, condense, and then format and execute data in the form of an interactive wiki that will be not only used internally for best practices in the future with regards to patient satisfaction efforts, but also will be used at various conferences throughout this upcoming year at patient satisfaction expos and whatnot in order to help other organizations better their patient satisfaction efforts as well. Now, another part of this whole analysis was to really understand the various metrics involved with patient satisfaction, and the umbrella of those is really PQRS and MIPS for our particular analysis. PQRS is the current CMS reimbursement scheme that we're under, and stands for Physician Quality Reporting System. Now, this establishes a certain percentage each year that organizations can either gain or lose depending on whether or not they assume the quality metrics. So in the future, the organizations are going to be under what's called MIPS. So this is under the macro law that you've probably heard about that was finalized this last month that is going to be employed in about 2019. The percentages for MIPS go from about 5% in 2019 to 9% in 2022, meaning that organizations could either lose or gain up to 10% of their CMS reimbursements depending on their assumption of quality metrics established in the MIPS incentive plan. So MIPS stands for Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, and the four main pillars are clinical quality, advancing care information, clinical practice improvement, and overall cost. So taking those into consideration, we developed a return on investment. What this was developing an ROI equation for quantitative review, developing a correlation between SPC and PSAT, and PSAT efforts and the reimbursement rates from CMS. We had to do this not only for one payment scheme, but also for the rest, or for the future. So we had to do PQRS, MIPS, and an alternative payment model. In order to do this, we took a basic ROI equation and expanded the numerators. So in order to do that, we took into consideration the basic quality metric reductions for PQRS, MIPS, and alternative payment models, while applying that to the total CMS reimbursement, and then applying that to a proportion of reimbursement attributable to departmental efforts, which would actually get us a total return, and then we would actually continue to have the expenses in the denominator upholding the standard ROI equation, allowing for an objective financial evaluation of the return on investment from expenses for PSAT. There were multiple challenges involved with this, but all in all, we developed a sustainable and a comprehensive evaluation of the PSAT efforts that proved to be valuable for the organization for years to come. Thank you for your time.